for those of you that know me, you know that I'm not one to turn down a blended whiskey. We all can try it. It can always be interesting. Today, we're going to see what an 18-year-old blend tastes like. This is our first live review. Check it out.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, guys, it is Scotch for Dummies.
4 guys on the Scotch journey to help you with your next Scotch purchase. What's going on, man?
Well, here we are.
A little bit of Chivas 18.
I gotta say something, guys. I really didn't think we were gonna ever do this. I didn't think it was gonna come to this, so we were gonna have to do a stinking review virtually. It just
the Muppet version of a review.
It doesn't
Yeah,
feel
we're on
right,
the wrong spot. I mean, we're all messed up.
but we're gonna make it right, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good. We all have the same whiskey in front of us, I guess.
That's
We do.
important.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna ask, have you guys at least warmed up?
I've got a big one. Listen to that.
a little bit.
Yeah, I have. I got a little Dewar's 12 I warmed up with earlier. So
I did a little Faber 10, just to wet the whistle. Get ready
Where
to
am I here?
Normally, I pour around while Mark talks and Sean talks, and we talk about the week and things going.
Yeah.
But today,
I will say that thus far, I'm very impressed because you couldn't have fit any more whiskey into this little bottle here.
I wanted to give you guys a shot. I mean, I didn't have any 2-ounce bottles. So I have this bottle. This is a bottle of Chivas 18, the gold signature. I don't have the exact bottling date on here. Probably should have looked it up. But it's a new bottle from the store. I just had it a few weeks, and we wanted to do a blend. We've done some whiskey blends, and I actually did a blind with this, and I think it fared pretty well. So we decided we're going to do a full blind on it, or a full review on it. Give it its time. Give it a little water. Make sure everybody has a little bit of water with them to add drops to it, and we're going to see what it does. Chivas 18. Again, it's a blended Scotch whiskey. It is not a blended malt. They are fully upfront with grain that's in it, but they are pretty proud of this. I mean, this is one of those things. I mean, it costs around $90 in 2020, and so it's not a cheap whiskey. But for an 18-year-old, that's pretty cheap. Mark, what do you know about?
Well, I'm on their website as you're talking, just to make sure that I'm getting some of my details right. And it's playing this music, and as it's going over you. So here we're already coming into some of the challenges of not being at the bar. One of the things that, first of all, you didn't give me an ABV. I didn't even bother to look that up.
Oh, yeah.
You have the bottle in front of you. So
40?
This one is 40%. 40% ABV.
They're very transparent on their website about coloring. We have to assume there has to be chill filtering, right? We know all that good stuff.
Yeah, sure.
And the price point. I did look it up online from overseas, and we're talking 45 to 50 pounds ex-VAT. What'd you pay for it here in the States?
That's like $90 here.
Yeah, I was going to say between 80 and 90 is what I've seen it for.
So it's actually a little more expensive here than it's very popular. I know that much.
It is.
And I'm pretty sure that the 18 is the most popular of the line. I was trying to.
Some of the people online are showing 65 in San Jose, 65 in Texas. So you're right. It's going to be in that. If it's 65, that's even a better
Pretty
price.
cheap for $65 for 18.
Let's talk our way through this whiskey a little bit.
Yep.
It's got a good dark color. Of course, that's probably all E150, but I mean, it's got a good color to it, and the nose is very pleasant.
Yeah, I've got fresh apricots. I love mandarin oranges. It's faint. I mean, it's 40 ABV, so you're not going to get a whole lot of alcohol on it, but it's got a nice, pleasant, soft nose so far.
Soft. I definitely think that.
But you know what I don't get in it is a whole lot of that grain smell to it.
See, I'm not getting any of that. I mean, maybe I need to maybe let it sit. Maybe I should put a coin on it or something to let it
You're not getting any of what?
like a grain.
Like a grain odor to it. I mean, it smells like a mulled whiskey, and it's got nice fruit notes, a little bit of floral, a little sweet. I don't get any of Andrew's wheelhouse notes in there, but
according to the website, you're supposed to get a little bit of dark chocolate and a little bit of sweet smokiness. So I'm not
according
sure.
to the website, you're supposed to get the whole flavor wheel.
Right, 85 different flavors.
Yeah, there's not 85 different flavors in here.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Sean,
85 flavors on my flavor wheel.
if you can get half of those flavors, I'll buy you a bottle.
Exactly.
So I don't know. Honestly, it's very pleasant. This is a regular blend. It's not a blended malt, which while we're nosing this, let me go through their lineup, you guys. They've got a Chivas 12. They've got a Mizunara, which that's a Japanese oak, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds interesting to me.
Yeah. The Chivas Extra, which was made to celebrate the Manchester United football team. No, that was the Chivas 13, I think. Anyway, they've got a bunch of different ones. They've got the 18, the Altus, which I believe is their blended malt. And then I'm not sure why they have an Altus 1999. Sean, you had a theory to that?
It's the Prince edition.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Oh my gosh.
It comes in its own like velvet wrapped bottle and
Pancakes.
you can buy that in the men's department.
That's right. So they do have a couple of higher end ones. They have a 25, and then their top end is called the Chivas, the Icon. But they've got a pretty good selection of whiskeys, right? I mean, there's a good. The Icon is going to be similar to your Johnny Walker Blue, Ghost, and Rare. The Icon has a bunch of distilleries that are long gone, right? Forgotten and lost. Yeah. But I don't know a price point on that. So anyway, that's Chivas Regal. That's where we're at with their offerings. I don't know how much they put out a year though. Andrew, did you happen to catch that?
I have that information. No.
I will say that this is a very nice glass.
Yeah, it is. I'm getting like leather on the nose and palate now, which I think is interesting. I was not expecting that as before.
See, my first sip, I got orange zest. I got a nice sweet malt note to it. And then as it faded on the finish, I got some nice like baking spices and clove and cinnamon. I would call it a medium finish, nothing crazy. And I don't get any like off-putting flavors. Like it's a very well-balanced Scotch. I don't get 85 different things out of it though, so I'm gonna have to try harder, I guess.
Yeah, I have my second sip now. The first one was more orange and dark chocolate.
So you are getting dark chocolate.
I am more of the bitterness towards the end. It's kind of a fairly long finish to it, but I'm also now getting more of a peppery finish, like really almost too peppery. It was actually really pleasant for a while. I'm like, oh, that's exactly what I want. But then kind of the pepper kind of came in. So I'm kind of curious to see if it opens up some more, or maybe the water might help a little bit. It's a little too peppery at the end for me.
Yeah, it's got a white pepper cayenne thing.
Right.
It's got that like bitter quality.
I'm thinking that may be some of that smoke that they supposedly have in there. If I get right in the mid to late palate, I'm getting a little bit of that smoke rolling in there, and then it comes out as kind of almost an acrid smoke, which I think is maybe that peppery kind of finish.
Roll it around in your glass, Andrew. It's thick. Okay, it grabs the sides of that glass. But now that I've done that, I can get some of that grain.
Really?
Yeah, it kind of exposes it.
Yeah, it's got some legs.
Not too off-putting those. I'm not saying it's bad at all. It's very pleasant. I mean, and for a 40% ABV, it's pleasant.
Yeah.
Now, if it's changing and going to get all cayenne on me, I'm not sure how I feel about that. But my first sip, I was with you, Sean, on clove. You said clove, and I was like, all right, I can feel that. But if it's going to start getting more, peppery.
It definitely got peppery for me on the second sip. I didn't get as much of the baking spice on the second sip. And I am starting to get, I think it's just because I've had a couple of sips now, I can get past the Scotch notes, and I'm starting to pick up some of the grain on the nose.
I am too. That's funny because I just went back and stuck my nose in. I'm like, oh yeah.
But it's a little bit. I mean, it's nothing like weird, bitter, acetone. I mean, it's got a nice nose to it still.
A little bit of grassy, a little bit of maybe green straw. I don't know.
The thing about this is the mouthfeel on this is it's creamy. I mean, it's not astringent. It's not like, it doesn't feel watered down like a lot of 40% ABVs. It's got a better kind of a creamier mouthfeel than I would have expected at 40%. I haven't added any water or anything.
I just added some water to it. Add a little too much, so I added a little bit more back. It doesn't hurt too much. I think you have to be very careful, right? It's 40 and it's a blend, so you have to be careful on your water add here. But so far, very similar on the palate. On the nose is more faint. I think you're gonna get that because you added water. Nothing's really opened up so much from the nose, but the pepper's still there. I thought it might kind of temper down, but it's not. It's still there.
It brought out that dark chocolate for me. Like I get that like tannic quality from like dark chocolate. I don't get as much of the spice now that I put a little bit of water on it. I mean, it's not a bad glass.
No, it's not.
I'm not complaining about
No
it.
hubba bubba, Tom. You're right.
All right.
All right.
Is anybody ready?
I can't. Well, I was just going to ask you guys. It's been so long since we've gone through one of these. My camera's not focusing. I kind of feel like we need to go over the rules again a little bit, right? So
Let's go over. There's 4 fingers.
we're going to give it a rating.
Finger is the best scotch you ever want to drink. 1 finger is give it away.
I haven't looked at our previous scores in a long time since we've been on this pandemic thing, and so I have absolutely nowhere to gauge previous blends like the Johnny Walkers, the Johnny Walker 18s. I could compare it. That's a different thing. That's not what we're about. So,
I'll
You
go.
rate this one independently on your
All right.
risk
You
of
want me to go, and then
on your score of flavor and
Sean,
of price and of whatever. How would you rate this? Is this I got to have this glass? Is it it's pretty good most of the time, or is it one I wouldn't give to anyone?
I got you. I'll go. All right. So neat. I really liked the nose. I thought it had a nice, sweet, orangey kind of thing going on. A little bit of floral. I guess I came in with low expectations because it was 40% ABV. It's a blend. I mean, I didn't come in with high expectations, but I didn't think it was going to be awful either. Because usually when you get into higher aged blended scotches, you're starting to get into some good stuff, and they usually have a pretty good showing of themselves. This one, I really enjoyed the mouthfeel was very good. It was thick and creamy, and that was kind of unexpected in a 40% ABV. The pepper on the neat kind of threw me off a little bit by about the 3rd sip. It was getting a little too hot for me. With the water, it toned that down. I got some of the dark chocolate coming forwards. I kind of lost the orange though, and I really liked the orange notes in it. So I would say for an everyday drinker, I mean, if you're getting this for $65 a bottle, I think it's totally worth that. If they're starting to charge like 90 plus, do you get this, or do you get like a 15-year-old single malt at that point? I don't know. This isn't a bad glass, and I wouldn't be ashamed to pour it on my bar. I would call this an above average blend. I didn't find anything ultra complex about it, but I also didn't find anything off-putting. So I'm going to give it a 2.5.
Okay. Andrew, you want to go? Let's go in a circle.
Sure, I'll go. I agree with everything you said. The flavor notes, I don't know if I have anything different. I got a little bit of smokiness in kind of that mid to late palate, which may have gone into that bitterness, dark chocolate, black tea. Probably, I'm not getting as much of the sweetness of a dark chocolate, more of the black tea, but I do like that creamy mouthfeel kind of brings it around as well. It held water pretty much the same, which suggests to me that this would be good with a little water. Probably good on rocks too. I don't know if the flavor would change that much because it didn't really change that much for me. I did lose some of that creaminess when you added water, but I mean, that's what you expect when you dilute something. For $90, it's a little bit, it's on the edge for $90. You can get some, you can get some SNWS, full 66% ABV for that. But this has a maturity in it I guess I should say a balance in it that I really like. I don't think I can give it a 3 because to me, it's not a wow bottle. It's not like, wow, you need to try this. But it's between a 2.5 and a 3. It's really good. It's probably arguably one of the best blends I've ever had. I mean, even with like when you compare it to like a Ghost and Rare or some of the those high-end Johnny Walkers, this is better balanced. It has more creaminess to it than a lot of those. So that's where I have a hard time with this. So I'm going to give it a strong 2.5 on the edge of 3, but I'm going to go 2.5 on this because it's definitely worth it. I think the thing that's knocking me down is it was $90. If it was 70, it'd be a 3 probably.
What'd you give it, Sean?
2.5.
Okay.
I guess I'm up.
Yep.
All right. So as you're talking, I'm pricing it online, just looking. $90 is high, but I don't see it anywhere online for $90. I think maybe they just stuck it to you.
Could be.
I don't know, but I got it. So when I think about this glass and what it is, it's a blend. There's over 20 different malts and grains in there. 18 years, so we know there's an age statement on it. 40%. Most experienced Scotch drinkers are going to ding that. It just is what it is. We all love high ABV Scotch.
Okay,
but I'll tell you what, for a 40%, I think it's got plenty of flavor on it. I appreciated the nose and the palate neat as well with water. Actually, with water, it kind of sweetened it up a little bit more. It didn't kill it. It's not to the point where it just tastes like drinking Scotch flavored water. It's still, it maintained itself. And so I'm looking price point here online, and I'm like, it's anywhere from $55 to $75. So when I think I'm going to price it at that, I'm going to say, let's say this is a $70 bottle. For an average Scotch guy that just wants some Scotch on the bar and wants to be able to pour a decent glass for himself or for company, I think this is a great glass. I think for that price point, you really should have it on your bar.
In a 70 for sure.
I'm a Johnny Walker fanboy, guys. I got 2 or 3 different Johnny Walker 18s right behind me, and this goes toe-to-toe with them, and it's cheaper.
Yep.
So I'm going to give it a 3 because I respect what they did. I can enjoy drinking this. I can want to have this on my bar, and for a friend and that price point, for what we're trying to do is educate people on a good Scotch purchase. Look, man, this is not going to break your bank. You're going to enjoy it. You're not going to feel guilty about pouring it. You're going to pour it for a friend or a guest, and they might not even be a Scotch lover, and they can still appreciate this. So I'm going to give it a 3 because I really think they did a good job.
Well, I mean, Chivas so far has definitely kind of come out of the woods and surprised us from the beginning. I think they produce good stuff. Funny you should say that. I decided to pour Johnny Walker 18 on the side, and I've been nosing it a little bit back and forth with you guys. First of all, I agree with everything you guys are saying. I think ultimately it's a good Scotch. It really is. I like the only thing I dislike about it, which is tamed down now, once it's set here and opened up a little bit more, is the pepper with Sean. But other than that, it's a good quality dram. I like the flavor profile. And if you look head to head with these, the nose is actually better and the palate is better than the Johnny Walker 18 to me. I feel like it's deeper. It has a little bit more substance to it with the orange and the dark chocolate. It actually blends really nicely. So my only beef with it is the price. So we're saying right now it's anywhere between $50 and $100 is what we're kind of seeing all over the place. Yeah. If this is $50, I'm going to give it a 3.5. It's delicious for what it is. For $90, I'm going to bring it down to 3, possibly 2.5. But I'm digging what I'm having. I really like what I got. I mean, this is an everyday dram. I think you said as well, Sean. It's something that you can pour me. I'm going to enjoy it. It's got something to it. 40 ABV kills a little bit, but I'm also kind of appreciating the old 40 ABVs these days. It's nice to have something soft coming in, right? Instead of pounding in your face. So I don't mind it. It's nice. I'm going to go with a 3. I'm going to finalize with a 3 here because I think it's a pretty good dram for what you're getting out of it. If you can find it within the, let's just say, $70 to $85 range, I think it's a probably appropriate price.
Well, then I would say we probably on average gave it where it needed to be because Andrew and I were on the high side of the price. You guys were on the low side. I was coming in with a strong 2.5, but I was also coming in at $90.
Right.
I probably landed about where I would expect it to land. I mean,
it's one of those ones. I'd be willing to share this with any Scotch drinker. I don't care if you are Richard Patterson or whoever. This is a good whiskey, and I would never be ashamed to pour this. If this was on my bar and any whiskey drinker came in, even a connoisseur of Scotch, this is a good whiskey. And if somebody poured that for me, I'd be honored because that's a good whiskey. So that's where maybe it should be a 3. I don't know, but I already gave him a 2.5. I'm going to stick with it.
I think it's fine. 2.75?
No, well, that's the average.
Yeah, but so I mean,
go off of.
Sean and Andrew are 2.5s, and Drew and I are 3s. 2.75. I'm with you, Sean. I think it landed right where it needed to be.
I think so too.
Yep.
So
there you go, 2.5 as your average. We can do math.
I'm gonna pour a little bit more of this.
I emptied it out.
Why didn't you pour it all in to start with?
I can refill.
I'm very curious, but I want to give a shout out to Chivas. So in researching this for all these Chivas folks out there, the people that are going to watch this review later on, go out to Chivas's website and see if you can find this blending kit that they sell. I'm really intrigued. I'm going to try to find it because I think we can have some fun with it. But basically, they sell you a kit that's got a bunch of mini bottles that are labeled by flavor. So fruity, floral, smoky, and then you a little droplet, and you do your own mixing and make your own blend to see what you would come up with. To me, it sounds fun. I think Sean will actually appreciate it since he wouldn't let us do an infinity bottle worth anything. So
you can do an infinity bottle, just not at my bar. Nothing's stopping you, man. I'm not going to stop you.
Well, this has been fun. This is interesting. I didn't mind it. It was different. We were still able to carry on. I think it was pretty good. But I do want to remind you, if you can, hit the like button, subscribe to us. We are live every Thursday. We've been doing some crazy stuff these days because of this. So tune in if you can. We do have a podcast as well. Anything I'm forgetting, guys?
We're going to be getting back to our normal format in the very near future as Scott opens up.
I hope. We'll see.
Hey guys, 275. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.